Hello, ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, Michael A. Graham, aka the Multi-Voice. I have many voices, but one opinion. And this is going to be the last of the June this month, so this will be the last of Asian month. And I'm going to top it all off by reviewing a certain Super Sentai series. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing all the Super Sentais, or else I'm going to be here all day. So I'm going to be talking about a certain particular Super Sentai, which is actually Ninja Sentai Kakuranger. Now, I know what you were thinking. Why am I reviewing that? And, of course, some of you are going to be saying, hey, Multi-Voice, what about the Power Rangers? I mean, since the the Power Rangers were based from the Kakurangers, right? Well, to be honest, folks, I'm not a big Power Ranger fan. I mean, I like the original Power Rangers. I thought they were very awesome the first time I started watching them. And, I mean, I just like the original Power Rangers themselves, but sometimes when they keep on making new series, they keep changing too much. Chocolate ice cream. Hot day in the summer, you know? And I know some of you are going to be asking me why not review the Japanese version of the Power Rangers, which is Super Sentai Zyuranger. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be that interested in that anyway. But in case for those of you who are going to ask me about the Power Rangers, I'm going to give you a short thing to say. When I started watching the Power Rangers, which one was my favorite Power Ranger? Well, of course, the Red Ranger, aka Jason, played by Austin St. John. He was my personal favorite because he was the Red Ranger. I thought he was awesome. He was an awesome leader of the group. Yeah, I kept this action figure. Although I did not have it during my childhood, I always wanted it, but it was so hard to find at Walmart. But much to my surprise, a friend of mine, who used to be my neighbor, he had one of these, and he wanted to give them away, so he was nice enough to give me the Red Ranger I always wanted. Although the arm's a little loose, and the head is loose. But at least it's a Power Ranger figure I always wanted, and I finally was happy to get one. And I only liked the original series itself, and I know, I mean, me and tons of other Power Ranger fans always had a schoolboy crush and always have the hots for the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, aka Amy Jo Johnson. And I had a massive crush on her as well. And a little known fact, I even had a dream about her that I kissed her in my dream. But I know some of you guys probably had some TMI dreams I don't even want to hear about. But besides that, and of course, I was really pissed over when they did a sort of a reunion, a 30th anniversary of the Power Rangers called Power Ranger Once and All Today. I mean, well, you know, the latest one they made. The reason why I hate it is because, I mean, I have nothing against Jason Frank, the one who plays Tommy Oliver. I mean, I sympathize that he took his life, and that was a big shocker. And I know everybody was a big fan, and he was the favorite, but I wasn't. I was never a fan of him. I mean, like I said, I like Jason better than Tommy. I always liked Jason over Tommy. And don't get me started with the guy who took his place, Rocky. I mean, after Tommy became the White Ranger and becomes the leader of the Power Rangers, Jason gets switched by Rocky, and Rocky was nothing more but a second banana, and I hated second bananas. I hated them. That's why I have no respect for Rocky. I have more respect for Jason than I do with Rocky. But, enough with the, my feeling about the Power Rangers, and of course my sympathy with the actress who played Trini, the Yellow Ranger. I heard about her died in a car accident, and I was shocked about that. I couldn't believe that happened to her. It was a big shocker on my part. But with the Power Rangers aside, let's talk about the one I'm going to be talking about right now. Now, the reason why I choose this, it's because it's made in Japan, and there's two things that I've always been a huge fan of. I mean, I've always been so fascinated with. I mean, since I always loved the Ninja Turtles, and I always would love the Ninja Turtles more than the Power Rangers. So one thing about the Super Sentai, this Ninja Sentai Kakuranger, it had two things that I'm very fascinated with, and it's part of the Japanese culture. Ninjas and Yokais. And for those of you who don't know what Yokais are supposed to be like spiritual beings in Japan. I mean, some people call them demons, but they're not like demons from hell, they're just spiritual beings. I mean, that's where most of the Pokemon came from. Most of the inspiration of the Pokemon came from the Yokais. And I can go on and on about the Yokais, but due to time, I can't have that much. So let's get to this, shall we? What we have is, I mean, the show itself started back in 1994, and it had over 53 episodes. One season and 53 episodes. And these are what the Ninja Sentai looks like now. And yeah, I know what your people are saying. They look a lot like the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. But I'm not talking about the Power Rangers. I'm talking about the Sentais. Now, how this whole thing, his show goes, there is this guy who's telling the story throughout the series, and he goes by the name of Kashikishi, played by Sanyuti Inju. He's the one who starts telling people about different types of yokais they're going to be dealing with, and he even shows up to tell them in the beginning and on the end. And of course, he also shows us some of his perverted side. What is it with characters in Japanese shows and cartoons and anime that they always have to have a character who's perverted? Huh? What's up with that? Jeez. But let's get to the Ninja Sentai, shall we? We have the Ninja Red, who is called himself Sasaki, played by Toriki Omiya. Now, he's not exactly the leader of the group, he's like the second in command, but he does have a lot of potential of becoming the leader. But he's more like the second in charge to the real leader of the group, who is like not only the leader but also the female of the group, the white ninja, also known as Sasumi, played by the lovely Sotami Hirosos. Hiros. And I have to admit, she's a very lovely girl. Even today, she still looks great. And then we have the blue ninja named Sasu, played by Hirashi Shoshida. And of course, the yellow ninja, known as Saiki, played by Shan Koi. And also, we have the black ninja, who is actually not completely Japanese. He's Japanese American, and you've probably seen him in a lot of both Japanese and American action films. and his name is Black Ninja Juri, played by Kane Kashagi. And how this whole thing started, you have the red and the blue before they become Sentai. They accidentally opened up this huge door where all the yokais were sealed up in, and it turns out one of the yokais was a kappa, which is a giant turtle with hair but a bald spot on top. And they accidentally, they tricked the red and blue member to break the seal and open up the door for all the yokais to be released in our world. You see, unlike the Super Sentai, where they always dealt with aliens who wants to conquer the world, here they're dealing with yokais who wants to conquer the world. So it's more fantasy based. And there is this one traveling good yokai who goes by the name of Sunyi Mamoshi, played by Akura Sakamoto. And he told them to find these katanas sticking out of the ground. And out comes the white ninja, the girl. And of course, they meet their ninja spirits here, who told them that they need to find the other members of the ninjas so they can grab their swords and become ninja sentais. And of course, they can be able to summon one of the guardians who goes by the name of Muki Shogun. So, pretty much, Sundayu, he gave White Ninja a car that looks like a cat. It's more like a cat bus called Nikomori. Nikomoro. And it's a live cat bus. And it's their own transportation. They can go one place to the next. And then now we have this. We start to find the yellow ninja, since they finally found one kid who is this one guy who's about ready to become the yellow ninja Sentai. And of course, the red ninja Sentai, he found a scroll, and therefore he summoned a beast general red Surtur. Bear with me on me trying to pronounce those things. Sorudor. Hm. So now we have the white, the red, the blue, and now the yellow. All it's missing is the American, the Black Ninja. And of course, here's the thing. The Black Ninja showed up, dressing up as a cowboy. Well, not with cowboy boots, but with skates. Okay, so he's an American, he's dressed like a cowboy. 1994. Casual American stereotypes. American stereotypes. But this American, he was looking for the fourth scroll. So now this whole now the team are set. And they all become Sentais. And all of a sudden, they finally summon their giant beasts, Soradurs. So now they're all together. And they all become... they finally got together and formed the Moteki the Multi-Ki Shogun. And of course, the white ninja girl, she met a handsome-looking prince that turns out to be a yokai, and they decided to. But of course, they defeated that yokai, and then they finally got into their shark cycles. And then we have this main bad yokai villain, who is called Professor Yogami. Professor Yogami, played by Noboru Akami. And of course, they meet their yokai leader, who is called Young Noble Jr., played by Kenichi Endo. Now, Young Noble Jr. almost destroyed the giant beast Sudoros, but they survived out of it. So now they summon their own army, a group of beautiful girls who are actually evil, and they start out as cats, and they turn them all into human ninja girls, who calls themselves the Flowery Kunchigimi. And I gotta say, wow, damn, those girls are hot. Somewhere out there's gonna be a fanboy who's really turned on by that. I know I am. Ain't I a stinker? Now, somehow, Young Noble Jr. turned all the kids into stone. And of course, they summon this giant falcon guardian who goes by the that he is called the Subasa Muro. Subasa Moro. He shows up to help out the team, while at the same time while Young Noble Jr. is trying to summon his father, who goes by the name of De Moro. So the team had decided to split up to find their scrolls. And of course, the Red Ninja found this girl, who starts out as a butterfly, but she's a good guy, and she helps him, but sadly she's short-lived, called Rika. The girl is called Rika, who is played by Riko Chiba. And for those of you who may not recognize her, she's from that Super Sentai Ranger. She is the Pink Ranger, so she's pretty much the Kimberly in Japan. But sadly, her character died in this episode, but the Red Ninja, he found the scrolls, and therefore he has the Red Gunju sword. While the White Ninja girl, she starts remembering about her past, about her dad, which I'm going to talk to you more about that later. And after going through her past, she finally found the scroll and have the White Gunju sword. But of course, the blue and yellow, they have a bit of a hiccup. One of the bad guys turned them into kappas, the turtle-like yokai. But after they're finally free from the curse, they finally found their scrolls, and now they have their yellow Shogun sword and the blue Shogun sword. Now, the black ninja, he goes through his past. He remembers his dad and and of course his martial art father. And of course, the guy who plays his master is actually played by his real life dad, Gay Gaily Sensei, played by another kung fu actor, Jukaji. Jukaji. And that's his real life dad in real life. And of course, he thought that the yokai killed his dad, but as he delved more into it, it turns out his own father killed his dad because his master lost his daughter in the past. So he's kind of grieving over his daughter and blamed the cops for it. But after, when he finally defeated his master, he gets his scroll and has his Black Shogun Zord. And of course, it turns out that the white ninja girl, she found her father, which his name is Hakumotoru, played by Taiyaki Gade. And then all of a sudden, young Noble Jr., he killed Sendeu. With all their scrolls together, with their shogun swords, they finally summon, all together, they morphed into Kaikuru Dishugun to defeat Junior. And now everybody is cured, but Demu is free. And now we gone to another part of the right ninja Sentai's past. Turns out she met two other girls. Before she was a Sentai, she was also she was a member of another group. Her and her two girls, they form a group who calls themselves Three Punishment Sisters, who's supposed to bring out justice in their schools. And then they bring in another guardian who decided to help out the Sentai, who goes by the name of Ninja Man. And I know he looks like Ninjoid, but he's not as annoying as the Power Ranger version. I mean, why does that ninja character always talk just like this? Like he's a snobby rich guy. I mean, that's just so stupid. I think I like Ninja Man better than this. And every time when Ninja Man gets really angry with the yokais, he can transform himself into Samurai Man. Now, Kazuki is back with a crew. And also, Daimyu, he killed the Hakumiu, her father, but her father came back as a zombie. And he was forcing the white ninja girl to try to kill her own dad. And they tried to stop her. Until she finally has help. It turns out there was those two German shepherds that showed up and helped them out for finding the squirrels and everything. It turns out those two German shepherds was the white ninja's twin brother, Taru and Jaru, played by Kisuk and Daesuk Shashi. they used to be dogs, but now they become more human, and they sacrifice themselves to save their dad. And now he is back to normal. And then we leave into a final fight with that main kaiju bad guy. But they finally realize they can't kill him. Because if they kill him, because he's drawn by the power of hatred, more hatred goes in the world, he'll come back for more. So the only way they can stop him is bringing him back to that open door that they accidentally open and seal it up for good. So they finally fought against him and pushing him back into the doorway. And when they finally toss him into the yokai place where they're all in prison and sealed up the door, it was all over. So now the door is completely sealed and all the yokai are now in prison once again. And it was all over. But not for long. There were like three Ninja Sentai Kaikurangers that they made. There is one movie they made called Ninja Kakuranger the movie, which was supposed to be taking place in between some of the episodes. And then they would made this other one called the Super Sentai World, but of course it's all like a Super Sentai crossover with all the Sentais. And then years later, they finally made Ninja Sentai Kakuranger the 30th anniversary right here. And this is they brought back the cast members all together to see them all together and what they look like now. And that was the end. And that is my review for today. For those of you who likes me talking about the Power Rangers and the Ninja Sentai, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more. And if you want things to talk about for like future episodes and such, please leave a comment down below. Let me know and see what I can do. And this is the end of Asian month, so this will be the last I'll be wearing this. So next month it'll be back to basics. So I'm the multi-voice reviewer. I remember so I could jog your memory.